Now recently I received a review code from Square Enix themselves for Star Ocean Second Story R on the Nintendo Switch. So today's video is reviewing Star Ocean Second Story R. So how we break this down, we break it down into story, gameplay, music, presentation, and then I'll give it an overall grade. So the grades, well, there's 3 grades. It'll either be play it, which is the top tier, check it, which is mid tier, so it could be could be on your radar, or avoid it, and that's pretty self-explanatory. Now, once again, thank you to Square Enix for providing me with this review code, and without further ado, let's get cracking with the knacking. Now, Second Story R's story is viewed in the eyes of 2 characters. There's dual stories here, where you get to either play as Claude C. Kenny or Raina Lanford. So in this story, we follow Claude and Raina as their fates are intertwined. Claude, an officer of a space federation who is transported to an unknown planet known as Expel, who meets Raina Lanford, a local to the planet of Expel, who has a mysterious past around her. Our protagonists go and adventure out into the world of Expel to discover more about the Sorcery Globe. The Sorcery Globe being a source of evil on the planet which crash landed there and has been causing havoc to the planet of Expel. Our heroes will go out through the world of Expel and help its citizens, and also will come across recruitable characters to their party. Now, as stated earlier, this has 2 protagonists, so you're able to choose who to play as. So you could play as Claude C. Kenny, or you could play as Raina Lanford. Your main differences here is that you will see different scenes play out from the character's perspective. The overall story will stay the same, however, you will see little tidbits about each character. With this in mind as well, some characters may be exclusive to recruit dependent on whom you play as. So you might be able to recruit one character as Claude, however you may not be able to recruit that same character as Raina. My overall thoughts on the story itself. The story does suffice with Star Ocean Second Story R, and it is seen as one of the better stories within the Star Ocean series. There is some really good highs with this, and there is some lows with it. The twists, for example, in this story are really done well and nicely in this game. But some of the pacing can be a bit off with the story as well. So for example, I felt that the endgame was really rushed. Overall, niggles aside as well, I did enjoy my time with this story. Now, this isn't my first rodeo with Star Ocean's Second Story because I have played Claude's route via the second evolution port on the PSP. And one thing I'd like to clarify as well, that there has been no story changes from the likes of the PSP. And from my understanding as well, the PlayStation 1 version. Now, gameplay wise, we're going to focus on the battles first of all. Now, the battle system is a action combat based system. You can have a maximum of 4 characters in your party to take on enemies in battle. Now, during my playthrough, I played as Raina Lanford, who uses melee combat and magic skills compared to the likes of Claude, who uses sword physical attacks. The battle system with Second Story R is a utter joy to play, and it can be fast paced and frantic at times as well. Especially with the addition of the assault formation, so basically characters who are not active in your team can join the battle as well with the touch of a button, where they'll come in and do a special attack. Also, you can obtain special crystals throughout your journey, which unlocks protagonists from previous Star Ocean games. So for example, I had the protagonists from Star Ocean the Divine Force at my fingertips, ready to jump into the battle and help me out if I was in a jam. Now, outside of battle, our characters will be traversing the world via an overworld map, and as if you know me well, I love an overworld map. Once you have travelled from town to town as well, you'll be able to fast travel at the touch of a button back to places around the world. And I hope you like menu screens, because I tell you what, I spent loads of times on the menu screen in this game because there's loads of customization options with your characters.
Throughout your journey, your characters are going to earn skill points and battle points, which you'll be able to use in these menu screens. Now, it is definitely worthwhile to spend time building up your character's skills and building up their battle points, because you know what? This will help you overall in your journey. You'll be able to craft weapons, craft items, and craft all sorts of different items in this game. So for example, one thing I unlocked which I found a fantastic feature in this game is Bodyguard. So once you unlock this, when you're on the overworld map, you'll see enemies pop up and you'll be able to take them on. Now if the enemies are at green, basically if you have Bodyguard on, your characters behind you will go up and attack them without going into a battle mode, and you'll be able to earn XP and money without even going into battle. That's a fantastic feature, and if you're one who doesn't have a lot of time to sit and grind, this helps massively. And you know what as well, it didn't feel like a burden going into these menu screens to having to up these battle skills or your skill points, because there was a sense of achievement when you unlock something new, and which would help with this journey. Now when it comes to the music has had a massive overhaul here. I remember hearing the battle theme and being utterly blown away by this new remix. Everything stands out, it sounds so clear compared to the previous iterations of the game. Now Second Story R doesn't have a massive soundtrack behind it, so you will hear repeating themes quite a lot throughout your journey, but luckily with this being a revamped soundtrack, this gets a pass from me. Now when it comes to the presentation, the visuals is what sells Second Story R. The remake of this game is utterly fantastic and outstanding, and it sets a precedent for further remakes from 90s JRPGs. From the previous iterations of the towns from Second Evolution and the PS1 games, which were pre-rendered backgrounds, these have been fully realised in 3D, where you have a camera dynamically follow you around the area. The overworld map as well is utterly breathtaking when you first get out into the field. It is a joy to run around that world map. What I also really appreciated is that they kept the pixel art as well of the character models in this game. I love this style, and I really hope that we do see more remakes in this style. So, you know, if Square Enix are listening, you know, hand Star Ocean first departure to Gemdrop Studios, please. Also, those character portraits for our characters, oh, they're gorgeous, aren't they? Overall, aesthetically, the game is very pleasing to the eye compared to the previous iterations. There has been a lot of time spent on this, and this is very clear in the presentation of the game. Voice acting is in this game. There is English voice acting, which is being pulled from the Second Evolution game, and there is also Japanese dubs, which were used from various versions of this game. Also, a nice little touch as well is when you go into the menu screens and you look at your various characters, you can go and look at their statuses, and you can look at the old character portraits from the first version of the game on the PlayStation 1, the Second Evolution of the game, and also this iteration. I find that really great. Now overall, I enjoyed my time with Star Ocean Second Story R. It is a beloved entry in the Star Ocean series, and you can see why they went back to this and gave it this new coat of paint. This has made a world of difference to the game and really does set a precedent for future remakes of 90s classic JRPGs. Or go one step further and let Gemdrop Studios actually do a brand new Star Ocean game in this style. So I will give this a chicken fillets rating of play it. This is a game that deserves to be played by you. Now once again, thank you to Square Enix for providing me with a review code of Star Ocean Second Story R on the Nintendo Switch. I really hope that one day I can work again with Square Enix. So there we have it, that is my review for Star Ocean Second Story R. What were your thoughts on this, and are you going to be picking up the game now? Let me know in the comments down below. Now, if you're liking what you're hearing and seeing on the channel, please help me grow it by liking, sharing and subscribing. And if you want to be kept up to date with everything Chicken Fillets, well, hit that notification bell. This has been Chicken Fillets, and until next time, tatty bye.